marijuana is legal. I smell it everywhere. I haven't smelled this much marijuana in my entire life. Being an addict or a former addict, I'm in recovery today. Man, thankfully I have the strength to endure those types of triggers, but those are also stressors that I encounter.
This is a Dogs Train Home podcast, stories of second chances, one person and one dog at a time. And I'm your host, Vix Lyttle.
I like the hat.
Like the hat?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's get going then. Hi, Rudy. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing well.
Good. I thought I'll start off today with a nice question, opens it up. We'll just talk freely and let's just keep it real and educate me, because there's going to be a lot of people who are listening like me who don't understand and would like to be educated. So just
Okay. And feel free to ask anything. Like, I'm an open book. So
I really appreciate that, because I do actually worry about what type of things I can and can't say. So I really appreciate you saying that.
yeah.
So let's start off by tell me a little bit about what was like the biggest shock that you faced when coming out of prison.
I think the biggest shock for myself, it started before I even left prison. I was notified less than 24 hours that I was going to Alameda County, to Oakland, where I'm originally from, Los Angeles, and that's where a majority, if not all of my support network resides. So within less than 24 hours, I was notified that I was going to Oakland and Alameda County, where I have zero support. On top of that, my parole conditions stipulated that I was not allowed to have contact with my mother and my sister, who are my primary sources of financial support, housing, clothing, food, everything that is needed for me to set a basic foundation for myself upon release. I wasn't allowed to have contact with them, so I had to scramble. What was that?
Did they say why?
Because they were my co-defendants in my crime. But throughout my prison term, they were allowed to come and visit me. They were allowed to send me money. They were allowed to provide a natural form of support and family relations. It was just now that I'm being released after long-term incarceration. I was incarcerated for about 19 years. Now they're saying I can't have contact with them when it was most important.
Yeah.
So that also was something that I had to adjust to. So we had to scramble and find somebody who could come pick me up, drive me up to Oakland, to the Bay Area, give me my basic necessities. I only had $200 coming out of prison, and in today's economy, that's really nothing.
Well, it's funny because someone who we know personally on my family, I just recently learned that he was in prison, and he was in prison, I think it was like 2017, and he told me that he got $200 gate money. So it's not changing.
Right. It's not changing at all. And I think that's something that can be addressed. I know it's not maybe your organization's specific like wheelhouse, but it is something that needs to be addressed, because in today's economy, $200 is really nothing. A pair of shoes and a pair of pants.
Exactly. That's why when you say about our what we do, that was one of the reasons we wanted to then get involved and start helping with the reentry. Is for that one reason, especially when we heard about your story, whereas you've been sent so far away from home with no support, and then the money that you're sent out with, you're not set up for success out of the gate.
Right.
That's why we actually wanted to then go ahead and start helping with reentry to take some of the pressures off. Now, I think we sent you up some money for groceries, money,
Yes.
the bus tickets. Has that helped? How's that? What does that
It has
look
helped.
like a typical day?
It has helped tremendously. So again, I don't have the family support, and coming up here, I was forced to use like the public transit system. So the money that you provided me has helped me get around. Like I have to go get my social security. I had to go get my California ID. I had to go back and get a real ID. I'm in the process right now of getting my driver's license. I had to go to uh, sign up for like EBT and government assistance and things like that. And without that help, it would have been a lot more pressure on me
Yeah.
to find financial assistance to be able to accomplish that.
Yeah. And touching on, so inside, when you were inside, you completed your prison dog training
Yes,
certification. So whilst you're that's an amazing accomplishment, by the way. So congratulations on that. While you were inside, you trained to be a dog trainer, basically.
right.
What's that now with all of then these struggles? What's that then been like trying to put that into practice as a career? Have you been able to even do that?
Um, to like entrepreneurship is just like out of the question right now. For one, my parole conditions mandate that or stipulate that I have to do a minimum of 1 year in transitional housing. So the skills that I've acquired, the certifications that I've acquired, um, are kind of like void at this point because I'm living in somebody else's space. And they don't allow pets. I don't have the room or the capacity to bring dogs here and train them, and use the certifications and the skills that I learned in prison. So that's kind of out of the picture for me right now, which is also put strain on me because a career and a job is something that's necessary for me. Right now, I'm trying to build a foundation, and I can't use that, which it so it's kind of difficult.
And I understand from my business partner, that our vice president in it, that a lot of the skills when you come out, if you're serious about dog training, you have to volunteer. So that's you don't get paid. So if you
Right.
want to keep your skills going and learn and make the connections, then you not only have to find yourself a job that makes you money, but then you have to find the time to volunteer. Have you had any volunteer? But then you need opportunities. Like, have
Right.
any opportunities even presented to you?
Yeah, so right where I'm at right now, currently, I don't have the time or space to like really volunteer like that because of my workload. The program that I'm in is a career readiness program. And it's like almost like a full-time job. So to be able to utilize those skills and those certifications in volunteering for like a shelter or other nonprofits, it's a lot because at the same time I don't want to overload myself as I adjust to society because that in itself is stress. Learning technology is stressful. Learning proper etiquette in society is stressful. Um,
I,
Transportation is stressful.
on those 2 points there with one, technology, I can imagine um, technology, especially now from when you went in to how it's blown up, those 20 years we've moved forward, that must be so confusing, and to then come out and everyone will expect you to understand how it all works.
Right. Yeah. And that kind of like played into getting my social security card, getting my California ID, signing up for my driver's license, setting appointments. It
Are there
was really
support for you anywhere? Did they tell you there was support to teach you how to use the stuff?
no, there wasn't. And I think that's an area that can be better as far as reentry goes. Having people dedicated specifically to once people come out, okay, this is what you need to do. We're gonna sit down. We're gonna have a class. Everybody log into your computer or on your phone. This is where we're gonna go. We're gonna go to this website. This is how you do this. This is what you need. I didn't have that. So I kind of had to navigate all of that on my own, with the help of family members. But it was a long, drawn out process because I didn't have somebody guiding me through it. I was kind of just figuring it out on the phone, uh, contacting family when I had struggles, and hope that they can assist me in whatever I needed assistance. Because Social Security, California ID, those are essential like documents for getting into a job space, signing up for certain things. And I didn't have that like direct assistance coming out,
Yeah. And
especially being up here so far. Like,
exactly, you've got no one to lean on. And then
right,
dealing, like you say, with the social aspect again, um, that the person we know, it's funny that we were just having that conversation the other day. He's actually our pool he's our pool cleaner, also my Reiki healer now, and I've known him ever since we owned the house. And of course you get into conversation, and this came up, and years ago he did I think it was 10 years in, but he said he found it really difficult with society, with just in when he was inside, he kind of there was rules that you understood with cutting lines, and it was like he said, it was petty, but at least you knew where you stood. Whereas when you come outside, there's it's not
yes,
so black and white.
yeah. Yeah, so that those are also adjustments that I had to make. In there, it's kind of like they have a saying like "mail your feelings home," right? Because at the end of the day, the respect for the next person is of the highest importance. It's priority. So the way that I feel, no matter what I'm experiencing, is irrelevant toward how I treat somebody else.
Yeah.
I kind of have to. You become like a perfectionist at compartmentalizing things. So if I have family struggles or something's going on the street, I have to put that away in order to navigate successfully in my environment. And coming out here into society, like people don't think that way. They don't operate that way.
You're having a bad
So
day, everyone knows about it.
right. So you experience their experience in life or what they're feeling. And I'm not used to that. We're not used to that. Coming from long-term incarceration. So it definitely takes a emotional intelligence, and being aware of myself, knowing what I want for myself and for other people, and just being able to treat people with kindness and empathy. I know that that's a part of my responsibility as a citizen today. I practice that, but it's definitely the adjustment that I've had to make.
I mean, that's good. It's taken the positive out of something. You've literally come out way more emotionally intelligent than a lot of people
Mm.
walking around the planet today, and a little bit closer to God, basically, because
Right.
that's where you need to be with yourself. You shouldn't be taking your own stuff out on other people. It's your own stuff, treating people with respect. So at least that's a positive that you're coming out with as well.
Yeah. And something else, like I feel it's necessary, like to point out is that like some of the reentry programs, they're in really bad neighborhoods. Um, I was paroled and sent to the Dream Center in Oakland, It's in East Oakland. And anybody who knows the environment, it's on International Boulevard and in between 23rd and 24th Street. Um, and that's a really bad neighborhood. Uh,
So it's putting you back in.
it's putting you back in like they didn't want me to go south because of triggers and stressors and high risk situations for relapse. But as soon as I came out the Dream Center, the front door, you have drug dealers, you have prostitution, you have gang members, you have all of that. Like as soon as I step out the door,
You go back on
um,
because it's not a place you know either. So you're even more.
right. So I have to also be aware and navigate all of that. Um, Marijuana is legal. Like I smell it everywhere. I haven't smelled this much marijuana in my entire life. Um,
That's
and being an addict or a former addict, I'm in recovery today. And thankfully I have the strength to endure those types of triggers, but those are also stressors that I encounter on a daily basis. And it's everywhere.
You don't even think about that type of thing. You're going from a controlled environment into an uncontrolled environment, and even though they had the mindset of they didn't want to put you back um, with your family for whatever reason, it's now put you more at risk. Speak a little bit more to me about why they didn't want you to go back to your mum. That they were your co-defendants. What does that mean?
That means that they were involved in some of the crimes that I went to prison for.
Gotcha. Okay.
That and my former gang associations.
Right.
So they didn't want me in the Los Angeles area for the risk of going back into my old gang environment and gang activity.
And how long are they saying you have to stay away for? But is that forever, or you can go back?
I would have to submit paperwork requesting to go back to Los Angeles. I think I have like a 6 month review. Um, and at that time, they would make the determination based on what I've been accomplishing out here, and the risk that that poses to victims. At the end of the day, it boils down to victims' rights, and that part I understand, and I respect. Public safety is also of the utmost importance, even for me today. Um, so that part I get it. But those are the reasons. But I think there's definitely a flaw in the system, and like dropping people in one places that they don't know, and two, like some of the worst neighborhoods in California,
That doesn't.
like
Yeah.
with no support. Like I don't think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And you expect them to succeed.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, that's
I'm
why.
lucky. I'm glad I'm resilient. I'm glad I have the understanding that I have today, but not everybody's in that space.
Exactly. And you did a long time in, and a long time in means you have had a lot longer to work on, like you say, emotional
Right.
intelligence. Some of the kids, they go in for a little while and they come out and they really haven't kind of hit their rock bottom, and
Right.
kind of do need that come to Jesus moment to actually get over
Right.
it. Yeah, so like you say, if they haven't gone in and really become good with themselves, and then they're dumped back into an environment, it doesn't matter whether it's an environment they've come to, it's a very similar environment. If not, it's a bit more stressful because you don't know, you don't feel familiar with your surroundings, which means you're even more on a fight or flight
Right.
feeling.
Yeah, for
Tell me a
sure.
little bit about how you deal with, like, when are you at a halfway house?
Yes.
So tell me a little bit on how you're dealing with the quiet moments and your thoughts and being alone with your thoughts. What does that look like for you? How are you getting over that?
I don't I notice like my mind is everywhere now. Uh I think it's like it has to do a lot with like sensory overload and the stress and opportunity and everything, technology. Like I in there, I worked hard to not become attached to my tablet, right? Because we have tablets in there. And I was like, no, I don't want to become attached to that. I don't want to become dependent on it. I'd rather go to college, read my book, train my dog, like socialize with people. And coming out here, like I've been stuck to a computer or my phone for like 70% of the day. Um, that combined with opportunity, new experience, like when I do have those that alone time and those quiet moments, in my mind, they're not so quiet.
Yeah.
Uh, because my mind is continuing to go.
Yeah.
Um, but it has started to subside, like and quiet down. The more that I find my rhythm out here, and the more that I adjust, uh,
Yeah.
I'm starting to I'm starting to calm down. Like you know, but it's definitely an adjustment. I'm thankful for the organization that I'm with right now. Like the first 3 months of the program, we go through like a life skills curriculum where it's kind of like a like almost like group therapy where we're coming in, we're checking in every day. How are you doing? What are you thinking? What are you experiencing? Because everybody's like re-entering society. So
And is that a
just to have that
program? What's the name of that program?
CROP,
Right. Okay.
that's the acronym for creating restorative opportunities and programs.
And is that just based in Oakland or is it
I think they have it in Whittier in Los Angeles now.
nice, nice. That's good. That's good. But
And I think that's needed in other areas.
yeah, especially with like the counseling and the getting, because like you say, if not, it's all going to stay in your head. And it sounds like to me, correct me if I'm wrong, that you could find more peace when you was inside and more quiet than you can outside. So trying to find that outside has got to be really hard.
Right, right. And I think it goes back to like the amount of stress that re-entering society like places on us. Like,
Yeah,
you know, you're scrambling to understand everything that's going on around you.
yeah,
Um, you're scrambling to figure out, how do I find out my social security? What's my how do I go get an ID? When do I get a driver's license? How much does rent cost? I need a job. Like all of that is going on within a short period of time after 20 years of incarceration. Um, so it's just finding ways to ways and time to center myself, um, and regroup, and go back at it, you know, and try to find that calm and that peace of mind.
yeah. So tell me, what does a typical day look like for you right now?
Right now, so as I spoke of earlier, we were coming out of so at Crop they have four pillars. So and they're divided into 3 months apiece. It's a career readiness program. So I'll be going onto a career track. With on Monday I start actually. So prior to that, my day was like I was waking up at 5:30 in the morning, getting up, drinking my coffee, checking emails, finishing up homework if I needed to finish up homework, getting dressed, and going into the classroom. I live on campus, so they have a classroom setting where we go in and we would just do life skills for the first, I think, 3 hours, and then we'll come back from lunch, continue that. Wednesdays was dedicated to financial literacy. So they're connected with a bank right here in Oakland that kind of teaches us about like bank accounts, loans, financing cars, what to look out for, stuff like that.
How to use that
Um,
next.
then on Thursdays is digital literacy. So we've gone through Word documents, Excel spreadsheets, PowerPoint, using Zoom. That's how I know how to use Zoom.
Yeah. I
So
mean, you saw me at the beginning. I was a little, and I've used it plenty of times.
yeah, setting up Google calendars. They're really trying to prepare us to get ready to go into the workforce.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, so that's kind of what my days look like since April. Every day, 5 days a week.
yeah.
Um,
Where did the like you say, where does the dogs fit into that? Is and
right.
dog training is still something you want to pursue when you're able to?
If I'm able to, I would. Um, it's just right now, especially like being in the city, dog training takes space.
Oh,
It takes space. It's very time consuming. So right now, I can't see it fitting into what I'm doing. Because at the same time, I have to provide for myself.
yeah. And there's not that many places that
There's not.
that's going to give you job opportunities as a dog trainer. You'd need a
Right.
organization. I know down here, LA Canines, but you're up there, so it,
Right.
it's really difficult.
I am gonna look into it because I go on Indeed and I search. Um, and there are a couple of places that have job offers. So as my schedule starts to free up with this organization, I am gonna look into start to either volunteer or get a part-time job with a dog training organization.
Well, and you're one of our members now, so we'll write letters for you. We're gonna look after you now. That's basically how we want to start with our reentry. We only look after, we're niche, so only if you've done the dog training certification, because for us this is our whole basically mission, is when you come out you've got this certificate, but you, unless you've got the support, you're not going to be able to stay in the dog world, because it is
Right.
a hard world, because most of the times you need to get yourself into volunteer work, which doesn't pay. So we'll continue to keep on giving you the support there. But just before we finish up, can you give us an idea of what kind of support do you wish people knew more about for someone in your position right now that you would need?
I think the biggest thing was the documentation, getting your social security, getting your identification, getting your birth certificate. Um, Transportation is huge. You have to be able to get around to do those things on its own. Not to mention going to the grocery store. Um, Money for groceries is needed. Um, Clothing, job readiness. If I can't go into the job world, then what do I do? Creating a resume, um, job interview preparation. Those types of things are needed, and not all reentry programs provide that.
Yeah.
Uh, where I'm at right now, they do, and that's why I came here, because again, initially I was in a dream center. Um, and then this opportunity came through my parole officer. And because I didn't have opportunity to go into the dog world, my support network was down there. I accepted this opportunity.
Yeah.
And they kind of provide a lot of that stuff. But I think those things in the reentry field initially, if I would have had that, it would have been a lot easier for me. Somebody to like grab my hand and guide me through it, rather than me knowing I need these things. How do I get it?
That was really good information.
Thank you.
And it's funny because Isaac was saying the same thing when he came out with the documentation and the transportation. So that really seems like it's crazy that they don't give more. It's like,
Yeah. It's really
oh,
basic. Like that's like the fundamentals. Like
it feels so easy. Like anyone can train that.
you would think,
Yeah.
but I think their whole idea is like at the end of the day, it comes back down to money,
Yeah.
right? And they would have to give money to provide that. Like they would have to hire somebody to do that. And I'm not too sure that organizations want to do that.
Yes. We need to find the nonprofits to do that. Maybe that's something we can put in place.
Yeah, because it is needed.
Yeah.
Like I know people would I think if I would have asked, they would have kind of been like, "Oh, you could just go online and do it." That's kind of the responses I was getting.
That's the whole point. The online point has not been taught. Yeah.
Right. Learning how to use a phone. I don't even have access to a computer.
Yeah.
Like I'm just getting out. All I got is my clothes and some hygiene. Maybe putting together like a little reentry booklet, or a guide.
Yeah.
This is how you do this. Like that would have helped.
Yeah. And then here's
Um,
a phone number. If you're really stuck, give me a call. Yeah.
right.
Yeah. All right. That's good information.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right then. Well, thanks very much. It was really good talking to you.
Yes, you too. Thank you.
You've been listening to a Dogs Train Home podcast, where every story reminds us that second chances are real.